Hi guys, welcome to my channel. And today we will talk about third semester assignments for the subject IT project management. And this is for December 2022 cycle. So I think you almost all of the students are pretty much aware of the stuff because you have already cleared and attempted, or maybe you can have attempted the semester first and semester second. Just give you a brief recap that December cycle is applicable for all the students irrespective of any backlogs or not. So we are having two cycles, July and the December cycle, and the backlog cycle is in the April and the month of September. If I talk about assignments, so assignments contribute 30% of the part. 30 marks is for the assignments and 70 is for the main exams. And in 30 marks, there are three questions. Each question is of 10 marks. And in third question, we are having 30 and 30, each of 5 marks. And the maximum count, the word count, which is applicable for each question is 5,000 words. For third question, it's 500 and 500 words. Two important aspects which I discuss in almost all of my videos because those are very important because irrespective you are completing your assignments, how you are writing doesn't matter. But yes, if these two things comes into the picture, then there is no use of preparing the assignments and all your hard work goes into vain. So let's discuss about those two concepts quickly. The first one is the copy case. So make sure do not ever share your assignments with anyone irrespective whether you have uploaded on your on the portal or not, because at once the timeline, that is 29th November in this case, has passed out, they will treat every assignment as a single assignment and irrespective of the date being uploaded first or second. And if two assignments are same or maybe similar, in that case you will get a copy case. It's not that 100% match, but yes, if they found some match, like if you think that okay, I have taken the assignment from my friend and I'm just updating and making some changes and just upload it, then it won't come into copy case. No, they are having certain tools, certain AI technologies which will create a noise and definitely will come into the plagiarism, into copy case. The second part comes is the plagiarism. So if you want help from internet, do take. If you want help from NMIMS books or study material, you can take, but everything which you write, it should be in your own words. Now let's quickly start with our assignment of IT project management. So I hope you are pretty much aware that in my videos I will cover that what content needs to be written and what page numbers to be referred. So let's talk about the very first question. I will like to show you, this is the PDF which will be available on your portal. It is IT project management for December 2022 cycle. So let's discuss about each question. The very first question is: a support service organization, as they are expanding their business, is planning to implement a planned project organization. As a part of this activity, they are thinking about forming a steering committee. Explain the role of steering committee, right? So firstly, you need to understand, okay, they are going to implement a planned project organization, right? So what is planning, what is the planned organization, you need to understand that stuff. Post that comes into the picture about the steering committee. Although in the book nothing much specified about the steering committee, you can google out, you can mention the roles of the google committee, of the sorry steering committee, and rephrase it in your own words. Now let's see what page numbers in the book which are available. So the very first page which needs to be referred is page number 56. So let's quickly go to the page number 56. So if we go to the page number 56, the 56 is about the introductory part, like what is project organization and what is the HR planning. So you can give a brief about this, that what are the directors, what are the project team, what is the steering committee. Again, steering committee is already being mentioned over there, that it's a blend, or you can say it's a mixture of different peers, customers, stakeholders. So everyone has the authority to take the decision, and they develop a common goal and vision for the overall project. And in addition, it is a final decision making authority overall for the overall political, legal, organizational, technical, cultural, and all kind of issues related to the project. So it's a group of different kind of people which we call as the steering committee. Now next part comes on the page number 83. So going to the page number 83. So if you go to the page number 83, it's a planning for a project. So it's important. Just give a brief that okay, this is the type of planning which needs to be done, why it is being needed, what are the different parameters, what are the different points which needs to be discussed. Then what is the criteria of developing an IT project plan, right? Maybe you can just specify or just give the key pointer that what is the key business objective, what is the scope of the project, what is overall structure, what are the certain kinds of risks or assumptions or dependencies on different methodologies on different projects, what is the acceptance criteria for the different project deliverables, what are the standards which needs to be taken care, which needs to be maintained in terms of the project, what are the different experiences based on the past history or you can say the past projects, overall estimation of the cost, budgetary control measures. I think cost and budgetary is almost the similar thing. Timely project meetings, business reviews based on certain sprints or certain strands. You can, I think you have already read about the agile technology, agile and scrum methodology. So you can just give a brief. What is the different communication plans? So you can just mention all this stuff as a part of the planning. Then next part comes as the role of the steering committee. So it's on page number 207. So if you go to that, it's nothing much mentioned about this, but yes, you can just give a brief about 2207. I think it's not on page number 207. Maybe I think it's 7.10.3. I think I have just mistakenly mentioned a wrong page number. So this is about the project committee. It's 7.10.3. So it's project communication plan. In project communication plan, it's mentioned about the steering committee, which defines the role of the steering committee as well as the role for handling the information, taking certain kind of legal, technical, cost management and different issues and a way to resolve, right? So if we talk about the roles just based on our understanding of the steering committee, we can simply say that okay, it's a combination of different teams. So it's good to have a more knowledge part. And if we talk about the role, so definitely they can help in different kind of issues irrespective of the legal, technical, organizational or personal issues. So you can write one or two liners based on your understanding, or definitely you can google out to just define the role for the steering committee. But yes, try to write it down in your own words based on your experiences. Because again, it's a case study based question, so you can't write directly, okay, these are the certain roles. You need to mention that, okay, we are talking about a support service organization who is going to be a planned project organization. So in that case, how steering committee will help for that particular company. So I think first question is pretty much clear. Going to the second question, a software development company is planning to start a new project, and as a part of initialization, they want to first determine the project feasibility, provide you inputs in the feasibility study to analyze the certain technical, economical, legal, operational, scheduling, feasibility standpoints. So it's pretty much straightforward question. You just need to give everything, specify everything about the st- uh, feasibility study. So going to the page number 33, I'm not wrong. Yes. So it's all about the project feasibility study. So it's basically the process of undertaking an exercise to determine the worth of overall proposed IT solution, whether it's a useful solution or it's not a useful solution based on the past things which are already available, based on certain existing processes and parameters. You do a detailed feasibility study, and based on that, you just provide a solution. And the solution which you are proposing is how much is feasible and how much is ready to be taken by the client or maybe by the vendor. You need to specify all these things in the project feasibility study. If we talk about the importance, then there's other few things which are very important. Would the proposed IT solution streamline with the operations of the working with the department? It's how much is feasible. Is it reasonable to spend huge amount of money? Obviously, if you are implementing something, it have some cost. So you need to make think, okay, if I am implementing this thing, how beneficial, how goes benefit, what will be the return for this that comes into the picture. Is the existing infrastructure enough to sustain the project solution? If we are working on some high end solution, then definitely we need to think, okay, we need to upgrade our existing solutions. And at the end, what's the end benefit for the end customers? So these are the few things for the importance of the feasibility study. Now next part comes where you need to explain the technical, economical, legal, operational, scheduling standpoint. So all of these are being mentioned over there. It's not like you can just directly copy paste, okay, but with the rate of return, something like that. You need to reframe it. It's better to write it in a form of paragraph so that the things will be more clear and you can write the stuff in your own words. Like it's mentioned that okay, feasibility study, it should have the following answers of these questions. What will be the rate of return? Is this worth to spend such kind of use volume of money? From where the money be raised? What is the timeline? What is the life of that solution? Will it be able to generate some revenue, cope up with some revenue challenges? What is the prime customers? What is the financial status? In terms of operational benefit, how operational it is feasible? What's the operational cost? What are the certain kind of barriers, or maybe say you can say constraint? Can it be done as an automated solution without the human need? About the technical, definitely technology has evolved a lot in this recent era. So technologically, how much it is feasible, what expertise will be required, what infra would be required. So these all other kinds which you need to specify. Now if you see about the other things, that technical is there, technical, economical is quite similar to the financial one. The legal part is not been mentioned. So if we talk about this question is a software development company, so if I talk about the some legal constraints, like if you are developing some solution, whether it's an in-house solution or you are taking it from somewhere, if you are taking it, then it will it be a copyright violation that comes into the picture? Are you legally authorized to develop the projects and sale in that company, maybe in US or maybe in India? So these are the certain legal points. Last is the scheduling related feasibility standpoint. So if we talk about the scheduling related, so it means what will be the time constraint, whether it will be delivered within the time frame or not. What will be the schedule for the overall project development, whether we will do it in chunks or whether we will follow some waterfall model. We need to specify all these things. So I think the second question is pretty much clear. Now going to the third question, explain the types of the offshore outsourcing service categories. So here it's two things which are being asked. The very first one is the delivery teams, and the second one is staff augmentation. So if we talk about the delivery team, so firstly we will need to see, okay, what is on-site offshore model, what is outsourcing model. So you just need to give an explanation about this. So it's being mentioned on page number 235. So going to page number 235. So what is outsourcing? Outsourcing in layman terms, we can simply say that okay, we are giving it to the third party, right? So we are outsourcing the overall project plan and the development to some third party because we are not having that expertise, or maybe it will be pretty much cost constraint for us to develop the in-house project. So this is more or less about the outsourcing. Maybe you can just go through these points and just specify a bit about the outsourcing. Then second point comes as the types of outsourcing. Maybe you can just explain, okay, this is the maintenance outsourcing where you just pay a fixed amount for a definite time frame for the maintenance. Like it's normally if you go for an today mobile or AC, or if you buy anything, then normally you said okay, we are paying 1 year maintenance. So anything or any hardware issue or any challenges come, then you need to replace it or you need to take care for free of cost. So this is the maintenance. It's simply like you are making a 1 year annual AMC sort of that thing. Then next is fixed outsourcing. So here again the client pays a fixed amount for any particular task for a particular time frame. Like if they want that okay, I need to do this thing for a 6 months, so they just start up with a small project and they just outsource it to some third party. Lab on hire. So it purely depends when the client utilize the facilities of the desktop server. So lab on hire, as the name suggests, that you are getting the hardware on rent. Maybe you are having short term project for 2 months, 3 months. You are taking a complete lab on rent, or maybe you can say the cyber cafes for rent basis for your employees, because you don't want to spend so much of money in buying the new laptops or new computers of 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh. So it's better to just pay a stipulated small amount for a small time frame and get the lab on hire. The next is service level. So providing the different kind of services, it again comes to the same thing for desktop laptops which we are talking about, ACs. So it's a little bit difference between the service level and about the maintenance. So maintenance covers the hardware part, service level consists only the servicing part. Next is time and material outsourcing, where the terms and conditions are made. Okay, the payment part are dependent upon the time and the tasks which are being performed. There's some fixed part, there's some variable part. The next part is business process, where the business operations, they just provide a complete business operations to some different third party company, and they will do those kind of stuff on behalf of that company. Maybe if I talk about the big MNCs like TCS, Infosys, what they do, they normally hire the project, get the project from US, UK, and get it delivered from the internal manpowers. Knowledge process. So knowledge process is simply when you are sharing your knowledge, you are outsourcing your knowledge, you are delivering, imparting certain kind of lectures in certain universities, or maybe if I talk about some doctors who are as a part time working in some hospitals, or maybe who are delivering the services to their patients. On-site offshore outsourcing model, it's where the team is working at a different location, and there are two things. One is the offshore and second is the on-site. So on-site normally sits with the client premises, and offshore normally sits at the SDCs, right? It's a software development centers. They develop the complete software, they deliver it to their on-site team. On-site team interacts completely with the customers to get the requirement and definitely to deliver the end product. So we can say the on-site team acts as a licensing between the offshore and the client, right? So they mostly needs to be a techno-functional roles who can understand the functional requirements of the client and give it to their technical teams for implementation. So this is about the on-site offshore model. Now comes a question that we need to talk about the delivery teams. So we have already discussed, okay, the delivery teams, how they comes into the picture. So delivery teams are at offshore level, and delivery team is at on-site, and the development team is at on-site offshore level. So it's an offshore on-site model. So delivery teams part is pretty much clear. The second part comes is the staff augmentation. So staff augmentation is simply when you are hiring some third party resources just for a stipulated time period. Like suppose you are getting a contract for a particular state, maybe for the Delhi or maybe for Mumbai, and they say, okay, we want this project for this particular 2 or 3 years. So what normally companies do, they just hire the local resources, because again, it's better to communicate, it's better to interact for the local guys in a better way. They just consider them as a contractual workers, and their role is up to that project only, maybe for 2 years and 3 years, and based on their performance, maybe if they perform, if they outperform, then they can be a part of the firm. Otherwise, they will be considered as a third party workers. So that's a benefit part for both the parties. Definitely, those who are looking for the opportunities, they will get an opportunity to work with some brand. And second thing, for the companies, they are not liable for that resources for lifetime. If they find that resources are not competent enough, they can keep the resource for the stipulated time period for 3 years or 4 years, and post that they will just terminate their contract. So that's a both way beneficial. So I think these are all the points which we have covered for the for this subject. And if you have any doubts or facing any issue, just feel free to connect to me at ngsa.mb@gmail.com. And if you like this video, do like, do subscribe, and stay connected for further videos. Thank you so much.